We know that many of you guys as his fans would love to get to know a little bit more about him, and we have some of the questions you have submitted. So, G.Soul, can you come back up and everyone give him a warm Thank you so much for that performance. It was amazing. So you came all the way to London just for Hallyu Con. What do your London fans mean to you?
Everything. I don't know. Every time I come here, I feel so much love. So thank you guys for coming, and thank you for having me. Super happy to be here. I can't wait to do my concert here. Hopefully soon, right? Hopefully soon.
That'll be wonderful. And G.Soul, we know that you're an incredibly talented artist and have done such amazing things throughout your career, and have had so many changes in your career as well. But you returned back to the name G.Soul. What does that name mean to you, and why was it important to come back to your roots in essence?
To be honest, I didn't know I had such a fan base when I was G.Soul. You know, when you're just working on new stuff and moving on to the next thing, you don't really, I don't know. For me, I didn't know, but you know, there's so many people just I realized, you know, there were fans even before I made my debut album when I was doing covers on SoundCloud and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, you can see many of your fans here today, and I think it was really funny because yesterday we were going through the comments that everyone had left for the opportunity to join your family, and you're really like touched and surprised. But you have such a loving community here in the UK, so you must come back soon. Okay, so your EP, Hate Everything, was a significant EP. What was the inspiration behind this album, and how did it differ from your previous works? And what did you want to convey to your audience with that?
I wrote most of the songs on that EP while I was in the army. So even though it was I felt honored to serve, and it was a very great time to train to be a soldier. But it's an intense environment, and there are a lot of, you know, stressful situations. So I wanted to write something beautiful and turn all the, you know, negative stuff going on into something positive. So
amazing. I think that's so interesting that no one would think during like doing something very serious, serving the country and fulfilling that duty, that such beauty and music would come out of that. So that's really interesting. So next, we know that you've collaborated with many artists. Is there a story or a moment that fans might not know about from one of these collaborations that could be interesting?
I don't know. I worked with many artists, many great artists. Can't really think of one, but that was my first time doing a compilation album. It was great, working with so many people, you know, putting the ideas together. And recently I featured on Jimbo's album and Hoodie and Juan from Monster X, and I'm working on some other collaborations on the way. So excited, very thankful.
And so many of your fans really adore your songwriting. I think it's amazing when an artist is singing things that they put their emotions into. So perhaps for any aspiring songwriters here in the room or that's watching this, what is advice that you'd like to give to them?
I'm not really good at giving advice. And I don't really believe in advice because what worked for me might not work for you, right? Yeah. But I would say, honestly, I never really even thought about becoming a writer because I worked with so many great writers, you know. I didn't have the confidence to be a writer, but when I started writing, there's this different kind of beauty in songwriting, creating and sharing my real vulnerable story. I think that's why a lot of you guys, you know, relate to a lot of the songs that I sing, right? Yes. So, I feel very blessed to be a songwriter, and I'll continue to write songs and share my stories.
All of your wonderful songs and projects, so we'll continue to support. Now, on to a bit of a funny question. So I heard that you had a pet turtle that disappeared at some point. Why did you have it?
Where did you do that? Wow.
So why a pet turtle, and what was the turtle's name?
Honestly, I'm sorry. Rest in peace, the turtle. I forget his or her name. It was, well, I think I was in high school. I think I was in high school. Yeah, I bought it in Chinatown. And you know, I thought that because I'm in school, I'm working on music all the time. You know, I love animals, so I wanted an animal that I thought needed like the least. I don't have to walk the turtle. So, but it disappeared one day. Never came back. So he might be alive somewhere, right?
Fair enough. I think a turtle's a really interesting choice. The turtle's actually my favorite animal.
Really?
I was just like curious, oh, why a turtle? But that's really interesting. So since we're in the UK, we're going to talk collaboration. So do you have a dream collaboration? Artist, dead, alive, currently active? And it could be a British artist, bonus points if it is, that you would love to collaborate
Bonus
with.
points. I would say then Amy Winehouse. I believe she's alive somewhere. She's alive in my heart. I don't know. I just listen to a lot of Amy Winehouse. Every time I come to London, she's on, repeat.
Yes.
So I would have loved to just watch her performance live. Yeah, and Sam Smith. Yeah.
Amazing, okay. And me and Nils, I had the opportunity of spending some time with you yesterday, and we realised that you're a very passionate shopper. What are some staple pieces that you can't travel without? What are some things that have to be in the suitcase?
Stuff that I can't travel without. Sweatpants. I like to be comfortable.
You bought 2 beanies yesterday.
I know. Well, it was a good deal. We went to this market and I bought a bunch of, I bought 6 pairs of socks and underwear for a really good price. So thank you for taking me to that market. I might go back.
We were like, if you ever need anything, just message us and we'll ship it over.
Yeah.
Okay, those are some wonderful staple pieces. Okay, and as we start to wrap up, so you've been a part of the K-pop scene for quite some time now. How do you think the industry has evolved since your debut or since you first got into the industry?
I mean, obviously the internet changed everything, I think, right? And with our smartphones, Samsung and, everyone can be an artist now. I had this Q&A time with my fans earlier. Someone asked me what would be my advice to up and coming. How do I start, in the business? I would say just put out any content and you automatically become an artist. And that's the advantage that we have in our generation, I think. So, yeah.
Definitely, I think even us as a team, because we vary in generations, some of us are older, some are younger. We remember the time of having to find TV shows on YouTube and not having access to many social media platforms. Even earlier during our Hallyu panel, we were saying that there's so much more opportunity now, and it's about taking that leap and the first step. So that's wonderful. Just pushing yourself to take those steps and put your voice out there so you can be discovered and maybe one day collaborate with G.Soul. Okay, and so now a little bit on your day-to-day life. So would you say that you're someone that likes structure? Are you quite fluid? Do you just follow the flow? Are you quite organized?
Surprisingly, I'm very much of a morning person. I get up very early. I go to sleep late, but I get up early. I do my, walking. If I don't feel like running and jogging, I do my walking. But I also like to be spontaneous, so I'm not really the best planner. So I don't know what I want to do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to want to eat, So I don't know. I like to just be in the moment and be spontaneous.
Okay.
But also keep a,
good structure.
Yes. Balance is everything.
And I think as we wrap up, because we want to let you rest as well, so one of our closing questions are, what are some maybe unusual sources of inspiration for you? Are you someone that perhaps listens to other artists, is inspired by what you heard? Because obviously earlier you said Amy Winehouse is a huge inspiration. Do you just go out in the wild and see what you see and that might produce a song, or do you write from personal experience?
Yeah, I get asked this question quite often, you know, where my inspirations come from. I'm inspired by talking to you, watching you guys, looking at you guys' facial expressions, and, you know, looking at you guys like sing along with me and all that every day, every second, everywhere I go, you know, inspiration is everywhere, I think. So. Thank you.
It's really nice to inspire, encourage people to see the beauty in like the day-to-day. It's not always about those big things or lavish things. It's just about like the beauty and whatever's around you. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
We're going to keep you for 1 second longer. We'd actually like to invite everyone to come and participate in a group picture. So if you just gather behind us, just